seems so different then. But like, to each their own. I don't judge. I think it needs to be true to you. And it's not even that it's weird. It's just like, I know I've been single for some time, but like, yeah, I'm not gonna talk about it because I feel like What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Makena. Thank you for joining me on today's video. I wasn't expecting to get requests to do another girl talk, but I'm glad what I say makes sense to someone, because for me, girl talks are kind of a way for me to see my growth. Like, it's literally just me documenting my growth. So like the other day I was watching my first girl talk and I don't know, I seem so different then, and it's nice to see where I've come from. So yeah, for me that's what girl talks are, and that's why I don't film them that often. Usually it's like after every 6 months or more, and I do that just to give it time, give yourself time to learn new things, to see new things, you know. So like when I'm coming to like film the video, I have a completely different perspective from the one I had like 6 months ago, and it's crazy how much a person can change. So for me, it's like a way for me to see how my growth, you know, it's something I can look back on and be like, this is what I thought then, but this is what I think now, and this is how I've grown. And I think that's so cool. That's one of the reasons why I really like YouTube. It does take more time in terms of creating content. It requires more time than Instagram would, but I feel like it's literally like a video diary. It's something I can look back on and see where I've come from and where I am right now. I think that's really cool. I feel like YouTube is something I'm gonna stick to for some time just because of that fact. But yeah, I'm back with another girl talk. I will be doing my makeup this time. I think that the girl talk, I don't think I was doing anything. I think I was just seated. Yeah, this time I'm gonna be doing my makeup. So yeah. This time I have more questions or topics to go through. I had asked you guys to send me questions on that anonymous app. Not gonna lie, it's called Not Gonna Lie, NGL. That's what it's called, yeah? Yeah, it's called NGL. I asked you guys to send me questions on there, and I think because it was anonymous, I have more questions than I normally would. Usually I'd have like 5 questions, and this time I have, if I'm not wrong, they're 15. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 17. They're 17. Normally I would have like 5. So today we have a couple. And I'd like to go through each one. So I'm gonna have to be very smart about how I go about it, because I'm also doing my makeup. And I don't want a long video. I don't have the time to be filming long videos anymore. If it ends up being long, then I'm gonna sit with it longer because I have other things I'm doing. So like, I'm gonna end up putting up the video a bit late. So I'm just hoping I don't end up with a really long video so that I can edit it quickly and get it out. I know I had said I would post this video, I don't know how many months ago. Let's just act like I didn't say that and just like move on. At least it's here. At least we have it now. So that's the point. So yeah. Let's start. The first topic I put down was self-sabotage, and I put it down first because I see you, I feel you, I hear you, and I relate. It's actually something I was looking into. Those eyebrows are not the same. My eyebrows are literally not the same. This is why I can't talk while doing my eyebrows. They are not the same. Anyway, I'll make it work. Anyway, as I was saying, I was looking into the whole self-sabotage thing, and at first I had a very negative look. Of course it's a negative thing, yeah? Self-sabotage isn't the best. It's actually, it sucks. But I was looking into the whole concept of self-sabotage, and everything I was reading was talking about how everyone has like a part of them that will do what it needs to do to protect you, almost like a protector within you. And I don't know, I had never looked at it like that, because if you think about self-sabotage, sometimes it's happening because of something that has happened in the past, And it's basically just that part in you trying to avoid experiencing that emotion again. So, like, for example, let's say, oh, what example can I use? So, like, let's say in the past you've tried something before and it doesn't work out. It's not gonna feel great, yeah, if you try something out and it doesn't work out, and you're not gonna want to feel that emotion again. So literally, it's like a mechanism, almost like a defense mechanism that's like put in place to make sure you don't experience that emotion again. So like, if you come across something similar to that later on down the line, or you get another opportunity like that or something like that, you're probably not gonna want to take it on because you've tried it in the past and this is what happened. So you're gonna, whether consciously or unconsciously, do something that's gonna prevent you from having to go through with whatever it is that opportunity is, trying to avoid that situation. And it's all based on like a past experience. So yeah, you're gonna do what you need to do to avoid being in that situation. So after reading what I read on self-sabotage, I started looking, of course it's a negative thing, but I stopped beating myself up about it because it's literally just me trying to be there for myself. Like, it's literally a part of me that's trying to like protect me. So yes, it's a bad thing, like it is something I don't want to happen, but there's also the aspect that I'm literally just trying to protect myself, you know. So I've been treating myself kinder, or being kinder to myself about the whole situation, because I would beat myself up about it. When I would notice it happening, I'd actually like get frustrated and all of that, but like that literally does nothing. That does not change the situation, you know. It doesn't do anything if I get upset at myself. So I started being kinder to myself about the whole thing and try to figure out why it's happening in the first place, like figuring out why I feel the need to, you know, sabotage a certain situation, figure out what the reason is, and then from there at least I know what exactly I'm working on. I'm not just going blindly into it and just like being upset at myself, and then like there's no progress that's made. At the end of the day, I'm just angry at myself and I've made no progress. So instead of doing that, it was a matter of, I guess, figuring out why it's happening in the first place, and from there I know what exactly I'm working on, or what exactly I'm trying to, you know, to do to prevent it from happening again. For me, I realized a lot of the time it was happening out of fear, just fear something might happen. Obviously something negative might happen, so I would just avoid the situation as a whole. I don't look back on my life, I don't know, 20, 30 years later and wish I did things differently, like wish I didn't let fear take over. It is a very valid emotion to feel, and it's normal for me not to want to experience that emotion. So obviously I'm gonna do something to avoid it. But then again, I don't want to look back and be like, oh, I wish I did that, you know. I wish I didn't let the fact that I was scared prevent me from doing what I want to do. So working on this whole self-sabotage thing for me it's very big for me, or it's a big thing for me, because it can prevent you from actually doing things that could turn out really, really well. So as much as I recognize that that's just a way for me to protect myself, to protect my emotions, there's also a need to put myself out there, to realize that certain situations would always go the way I want them to, and I can't protect myself all the time. Like, yes, I recognize that part of me is there, and I do realize why it's there, but like putting myself out there is also very important. So working on the whole self-sabotage thing from a point of kindness than from a point of like scrutiny and be like, oh, why are you doing this? Like, yeah, why is this happening, you know? Yeah, I think it's very important for me. So I think I would say when it comes to self-sabotage, it's happening because you're trying to protect yourself, which I think that's human nature. A person will always do what they need to do to protect themselves. I think I would suggest like looking at it from a point of kindness and like figuring out why it's happening and then working on it from there, because once you realize why it's happening, then you know what exactly you're working on. So y'all, at this rate, I'm going to end up with no makeup on my face because I've just done my eyebrows and I've been talking for some time. I got new brushes. I'm gonna be using them today, or trying them today, because I haven't tried using them before. But that's like a very big step for me because I've been using the same brushes since 2020 when I started the whole makeup thing. It's the same ones I had. I just like added other ones. But then the ones I had from 2020 are like fighting for their lives and it's time for me to let them go. But I don't think I would ever actually like throw them away because I'm attached. These are the brushes I got. So I'm gonna be using them for the first time today. And it's blending really well. Either it's the foundation that's blending into my skin really well, or the brush is doing a really good job. I don't know if I'd be able to throw away the ones I got in 2020, sentimental value and all, but yeah, I got new brushes. That's like the whole point of this part of the video. And I want to know, whenever I'm filming, there's always an aeroplane passing, and I want to know where you all are going and if they can take me with them, because I need to be on an aeroplane soon. This is also me putting it out into the universe that I should be on an aeroplane very, very soon. Yeah, I should be going somewhere. The brush is actually really good. At least this one is really good. So I'm hoping the other ones are just as good. It's blended everything out so well. I got new concealer, and first of all, it's a brand I've never used. I've never used e.l.f.'s concealers. I've used their mascara, and I think I still have it, but I've never used the e.l.f. concealer, and this shade is quite light compared to the shade I used to use. This is quite light, and I got a light shade on purpose. I want to have like bright under eyes, or some of my looks kind of demand a bright under eye. So I'm kind of scared, but like I believe I can make it work. Yeah, let's just hope. I think I'm gonna start with this, even though it's empty. I'm gonna have to get some product from here and mix it with this just to start out, and maybe when I'm not filming I can test this out on its own and see how that works out. I know this will dry faster than this one because usually I let my concealer sit as I do my contour, but I don't think I can do that. So I'm gonna start with this, do my contour, then go to this to brighten up my under eyes, and hopefully that works out. Or should I do? No, I'm gonna start with my contour, then I'll do this, and then I'll do this, and hopefully that works out. I feel like I've answered this question before, and I feel like the answer I gave was to just start. I'm pretty sure I just said just start, and I'm sticking by my word. I'm literally not gonna change anything. Figure out what you want to do, like if you want to put out makeup content, fashion content, food content, if you want to become a lifestyle creator, whatever it is that you pick, just figure out what you want to do, get your inspiration, and start. Your inspiration could be from Pinterest, it could be another creator, and just start with what you have, start where you are. For me, I remember when I started YouTube, I didn't have a camera, so I would film everything on my phone, like my phone was going through it. But at the moment, that's what I had, yeah, and I had to work with what I had. I just figured out what kind of content I wanted to put out. I knew I wanted to put out makeup as well as vlogs. Like I knew I'd want to get into vlogging. So once I figured that out, then I just started. And honestly, the first post is the hardest. Once you get through the first post, then you're set. Your confidence goes up with each post. You don't really overthink it as much as you go on with it. Honestly, maybe another creator will tell you something different, but I would say just start. Again, with my YouTube, I think the first video I posted, I really hope it's still not up, but I get the feeling I may have left it up. But I remember being very scared, but knowing that first post had to be done. Like if I wanted to be a creator on YouTube, I had to get over that fear and just put up that first post. Once that first post is up, that's it. Like that's the hardest step. But once I'm through with that, then from there it's almost smooth sailing from there. So I would say just go ahead, figure out what you want to put out and put it out. I usually go through my DMs on Instagram and respond to as many as I can, and I've seen it more than once. I get asked how I found my audience, like what did I do, what kind of content did I put out to get an audience. And I would say I don't think you need to, I guess, manufacture your content to fit a certain criteria. I just feel like when it comes to anything that involves like a creative process, anything that has a creative process behind it, I think it needs to be true to you. I feel like you should put out what you want to put out, and those who resonate with what you're putting out will come to you. It's not a matter of you manufacturing your content before you put it out because you want a certain audience or you want people to come to your page. I think it's very important to put what feels real to you. Last year I had reached this point with my content where it felt like I was moving on autopilot. Like I was just putting out things and I felt nothing. Like I was just putting them out because, you know, I need to put it out. I felt very disconnected from my content. And I remember actually telling one of my friends, I told him I don't feel like going on anymore. Like I don't feel like posting on YouTube anymore. I don't feel like posting on Instagram anymore. So I had actually gone quiet for some time on my Instagram and my YouTube, especially YouTube. I think YouTube at some point I was silent. And I remember he literally asked me, are you putting out what you want to put out, or are you putting out what you think people want to see? And I literally could not answer him. I had not thought about it that way, so I couldn't even answer him. And I told him, I don't know, like I think I said I don't know. But I think once he put that thought in my head, I started looking at it that way, and I actually realized that I was just putting out content. So I had to like go back and like look at what I was putting out, and actually what I was putting out isn't what I really wanted to put out. So I had to like go back and look at my page, and I realized at some point I was actually putting out videos or pictures or whatever just because like I was just putting them out. Zero thoughts, just posting. That's what it felt like. So I think it's very important when you're putting out content, put out what you want. Make it, I guess, personal to you. So when someone sees something, they're like, oh, yeah, this is definitely Makena's content. You know, that's what I want for my content. So I think that's very important when it comes to anything that has a creative process behind it. I think that's very important. So when you're starting out, don't try and manufacture your content to fit, I guess, a certain criteria or anything like that. Just like put out what you want to put out in whatever way you want to put it out, and you will find your people. You'll find people who like your content and they'll be coming back for more. So yeah, I think that's what I would say. At least this time I didn't just say start. The last time I was asked that question, I said just start. That's like the answer I gave. But that's also part of it. Just figure out what you want to do and do it. And you'll realize your confidence in the whole thing just like growing, you know. So yeah, I need to blend this out. I've been talking for a while. See the way it's easy to blend this concealer, like even though it's been seated. I don't think the e.l.f. concealer is like that. I think immediately I put it on my face, I have to blend it out. So having this as a base was very important, just to make sure everything sits right. The next topic I wrote down, and this is literally what I wrote down: getting into relationships because you're bored. Okay, stroke no. Into brackets, who are you trying to get together with? And then enjoying being alone. The reason why I wrote who are you trying to get together with is because someone literally asked me, who are you trying to get together with? And like I was wondering, do they want me to respond with like a name? And once I give them a name, what are they gonna do with it? Like, are they gonna go and look for every, say Ben, are they gonna go around and ask every Ben if they're the one? Like I was so curious, like why would you want to know who? How will that help? Who will that help if I tell you his name is Ben? Ben being a name I've completely made up. How will that help? You know? Anyway, I found that very interesting. The section about getting into a relationship because you're bored, I would say no, but like, to each their own. I don't judge. I can't tell you what to do, but I would suggest no, like, don't get into a relationship because you're bored, because then you're getting into it for all the wrong reasons. And there's two people in that situation. It's not just you. So it's gonna be very unfair to the other person, but then again, I'm not judging. To each their own. Do what you have to do, but I would say no, it's not a good idea. And the other thing I wrote down was about enjoying being alone. And I realized I received that question quite a bit. Like, how to enjoy being alone. And I don't know if that's like an indicator of how long I've been single and if I should be like worried, because I get that question quite a bit. But anyway, when it comes to enjoying being alone, I think we look too deep into the whole thing. We look too deep into it. If you want to enjoy being alone, then do the things you enjoy on your own. That's literally what it is. Like, it could be the most mundane things, like going out to lunch with friends, going on a hike. I personally would not go on a hike. Like, going on a hike, it could just like the most mundane things, the things that we think are normal. Like, just doing those things will make your life enjoyable. That's literally what it is. There's no like formula to it. I don't think I want to use a brush at all. There's not like a particular formula you should follow just to enjoy being alone. I realized we tend to make things so complicated and like think there's always like a magic solution to things. I think it's really important to make yourself a comfortable place to be for yourself. Like your thoughts, your habits, and all of that. Making yourself someone you want to be around. Once you do that, you become a place that you want to be, or a person you want to be around, Making yourself comfortable with yourself. You have to be comfortable with yourself if you want to enjoy being on your own. But actually, I want to know, why am I always being asked how to enjoy being alone? I know I've been single for some time, but like, geez. I don't usually do this with my concealer, so I'm kind of scared, but anyway. We live and we learn. If it backfires, I won't do it next time. The topic I put down after that one was how to get over a breakup, and those two questions actually, like, they followed each other. It was like one after the other, which I found very interesting. Probably it's from the same person. If they're following each other, then they're probably from the same person. But it was how to get over a breakup, and like I've talked about this before on my YouTube. But when it comes to healing from things that actually took like an emotional toll on us, the process is not very linear. It's not like you're gonna wake up like one day and say, yay, I'm completely okay. I don't think that's how healing works. Healing is a process. So I would say, and I think I've said this before, like I don't know, I'm getting this deja vu feeling. It's important to give yourself the grace and the space to actually heal and be kind to yourself about it. One day you're gonna be okay, the next it's gonna feel like you're never gonna fall in love ever again. And that's fine. That's completely okay. I think it's part of it. You just have to be patient with yourself. You just need to give yourself time and the grace to actually like go through it. You're literally where people are going. I also want to go. Give yourself the grace, give yourself the space, give yourself kindness, be kind to yourself. There's no need to like beat yourself up about still caring about the relationship and all of that. There is no need. Also, I would say having a distraction once in a while could help. You could go out with your friends or something. Like, just find a distraction. It's obviously important to sit with your emotions, but I think it's also just as important to have a distraction once in a while. If you're wondering how I personally got through my breakups, I cried. Crying helps as well. You could cry. For me, crying really did the job. Like, that's all I needed. And did some tears, Being a Cancer, crying is part of the job. So obviously I had to shed a couple of tears to get over it. So if you also want to cry, go off. Do what you have to do to get through it and to get over it. Since I'm in all black today, I feel like I want to go for a red lip. That's what I'm thinking and that's what I'm feeling. I don't think I've done a red lip on my YouTube. I don't think so. So it's gonna be a first. Why do I feel like the first makeup look was a red lip? No, it was an orange eyelid. Yeah. Just please don't go watch that video. I'd really appreciate it if we all just forget it exists. I might actually put it down before I post this video, so it's fine. Anyway, right, the next topic I wrote down was lessons learned from the corporate world. What if I do glitter on my eyelid instead? I think I've learned you need to be very open. You need to be really open. Because like when I look at what I'm doing right now and what I learned while I was in uni, I'm actually, what I'm doing is, it's kind of related, but it's very different. Just a heads up, you all are gonna hear Winter in the background because he does not respect the fact that I am filming a video. He doesn't care. For me, when I look back at what I was doing in uni and what I'm doing right now, it's quite different. It's quite different. But like if I went into it not being open and being like, oh, this is not what I know, then I literally would learn nothing. It's really important to be open to learning new things because things are different out here compared to what they are in school. So I would say be open, accept the new lessons as they come, I think that lesson translates to like life as a whole, because we can't get to a point and be like, I know everything. You just have to be open to always learning. Like every day is an opportunity to learn. That sounds so cliche, leaving my mouth, but it's the truth. It's the truth. Every day is literally an opportunity to learn something new. And if you go into life being like, oh, I know everything, I don't need to learn anything else, I hate to be the one to break it to you, but you do not know everything. There's no limit to learning. There's always something new to be learned. You guys, I actually have no idea what I'm doing. I used to be a winged liner type of girl, but like not anymore. I didn't like the way the glitter was sitting, so I took it off. Now I just have like a brown look, and I think I put too much. I think that's the thing, I put too much. With the glitter, it was just an experiment, so just act like that didn't happen. Thank you. This is how I'm going to end up without a red lip and just gloss, because I always want to do something to my eyes. Anyway, sticking to boundaries, I think that's very important. I view boundaries as a form of self-respect. It's literally you putting it out there, what you will allow and what you will not allow. So I find it very weird if a person refuses to like pay attention to your boundaries, especially if it's like something you've talked about and it's not respected. I find that very weird. But if it's a situation where you haven't let it be known, then it's very important to like put it out there. To me, boundaries are just a way to say like, yes, this is fine, but this is a no, and please don't do it because I'm not comfortable with it. It's literally you showing respect to yourself and like demanding respect, which is completely fine. It's normal. Where are people going? That's another airplane. And I feel like using glitter, guys. I'm sorry. I feel like using glitter, so I think once you realize what a boundary is, then it becomes easier to stick to it. I think even I used to have a hard time with my boundaries, but like I sat down and I was like, wait, this is literally just me asking for basic respect, and that shouldn't be hard. Yeah. And it's something that even I should not like compromise on. Yeah, this is easily becoming a pink look because my cheeks are now pink. It was supposed to be a red lip. Anyway, this is what makeup looks like sometimes. You start with one thing and finish with another. Someone asked, why doesn't my crush like me back? And I really wish I knew. I really do, but unfortunately, that's the one thing I can't answer. I'm sorry. You could ask them though. You can actually just go and ask them, like, hello, can't you see me? You can literally just go up to them and ask them, what's the worst that could happen? Personally, I wouldn't do it, but like, you could try. But yeah, I don't know. I wish I did, but I don't know. I'm sorry. You all know how much I hate setting powder, and I've just used some and it's made my face dry. It is irritating. It's gonna use rose water. That is super annoying. The next topic I wrote down was on leveling up, and I think the person asked how to level up, and actually I feel like I should have given like a disclaimer at the beginning of this video. I'm not a professional. Everything I say is literally just based off of my life, like things that I've done or I've experienced. It's not like it's something that's set in stone. If you want to level up, start acting and thinking as that other version of you that you want to become. Like, direct everything towards like that version of you, and you're going to end up becoming that version of you. Like, it's gonna end up being a reality. If that version of you wakes up at 5 a.m, goes to the gym, comes back home, does something else, journals or something, then start doing it right now, like bit by bit, slowly by slowly. You could start by like waking up at 6, and then eventually you can move and start waking up at 5. You know, just like building up your habits to fit what that version of you is gonna be, and you're gonna literally end up that person or that version of you eventually. Like, at the end of the day, you're gonna end up being that version of you that you want to be. So I think for me, usually I actually just like start acting like this version of me that I'm seeing, and I change everything I do to fit what that version of me would do, and eventually it becomes a reality because you're now training your mind to be that like person, to be that version, you know, the like leveled up version of you. Eventually you become them, you know. I'm gonna go put on my lashes and I'll be back to figure out what exactly I want to do with my lips. I don't know if I want lip gloss or if I want a red lip. I don't know if a red lip would fit this look, but we'll see. Let me just go and put on my lashes and I'll be back and we'll figure that out together. The next topics are quite short and that's why I put them last. But the other question I was asked was if I would date a classmate. And for me, that was like a rule. I wouldn't actually date anyone within my course. That was something I had like said since I think the first year of uni. Stuck to it till I was done. And it's not even that it's weird. It's just like, I don't know. I don't know. I just wouldn't. Maybe after uni is fine, but like being in the same class, I don't think I would have done it in the moment. Not when we're in the same class or in the same course. So yeah, I think for me the answer would be no. But then again, as I said, to each their own, no judgment, do what you want to do. It's fine. And the other one I was asked is if I think campus friendships can last like forever, for a long time. And yes, I do. Friendships, any kind of friendship, can last very long. Friendships can last a lifetime. I've had friends that I've been with since we were in kindergarten, we went to primary school, high school, uni together, and we're still friends, still date. So I think any friendship can last. Any friendship can last. Doesn't matter if it's a campus friendship. I still have friends from campus. Maybe we don't talk as much because right now everyone is on like their own thing. Everyone has a job and all of that. So we don't talk as often as we did when we were in uni, but that doesn't mean we're not friends. So yes, I do think friendships can last even after uni. The other question is, given the chance, would I relocate? And the answer is yes, I would relocate. I have places I really want to go to and places I really want to live in. For me, one of those places is the Netherlands. It's either I visit it or I live there. It's one of the two. It's on my bucket list. I want to find myself in the Netherlands like one day just. land there. It's a dream destination, I guess. The other question is what I'm looking forward to in the future. And something I think about a lot and I find myself planning for without realizing is my first home. Like the first place I get for myself, like my own home. That's something I think about quite a bit. I actually, like, I'm not in a hurry to move out or anything like that, but I think about like having my first place a lot. And recently, I actually started playing The Sims, and I realized I really enjoy The Sims because I get to build houses and like decorate them and all of that. And it just solidifies that whole thing of me having my own place, so like my first place, yeah. So yes, that's something I'm looking forward to, having my own place and like decorating it. Like I literally see myself decorating my own place and like picking out furniture and all of that. That's something I look forward to a lot. But like I've said, I'm not in a hurry to move out. It'll happen. I'm just not in a hurry, you know? It's gonna happen, and it's gonna happen when it does. But for now, I'm not really in a hurry, so yeah. The other question is if being an introvert is a bad thing. I don't think being an introvert is a bad thing. Um, there's need for balance in the world. Imagine if everyone was an extrovert. We'd just be getting on each other's nerves. I don't think being an introvert is a bad thing. But one thing I've been trying to do, because I'm also an introvert, I spend quite a bit of time on my own. It's important to put yourself out there because with being an introvert, there's a tendency to just want to remain on your own and like, you know, being the quiet one in the room. I think for me, it's been a matter of trying to push myself. And I remember I talked about this in one of my videos. I like what I do right now because sometimes I'm pushed out of that whole introvertedness. I'm pushed to be a bit more extroverted. So I think it's important once in a while to like push yourself out and experience life away from this cocoon that we tend to put ourselves in as introverts. The other topic I was given was ghosting, but yeah, I'm not gonna talk about it because ghosting is not a good thing. It's definitely not a good thing. Yeah, I'm not gonna talk about it because I feel like it's just one of those topics we'll never come to an agreement about. Because like it's not a good thing, but like yeah, I'm just not gonna talk about it. Let's close the video right here. I've given you guys enough information for one day. Yeah, thank you for watching. I'll see you in my next one. No, but on the real, thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys for the patience. I know my posting is very questionable. I'm very aware. It's been that way for some time now, but thank you guys for being patient. I don't feel pressure to put out content or anything like that. When it comes, it comes. When the video comes, it comes. And if you're new here, thank you for joining me again. I appreciate it. I hope you'll stick around. I don't put out videos that often, but I try my best to put out videos when I can. So yeah, you'll definitely get a video, maybe after like a month, but you'll get a video. That's the point. But yeah, I appreciate all of you for being here. Thank you for watching this video once again, and I will see you in my next video, which I think is gonna be an outfits video because the last outfits video I put out was last year when I went to Malindi, and I don't even know who that is because my sense of style has changed so much. That's a different Makena. Makena 2.0. That was Makena version 1. This is version 2. So so yeah, I plan on putting out an outfits video very soon. I'm not gonna say when because let's just not deal with dates. Let's just keep it in mind that it's coming. Yeah. But yeah, thank you for watching. I'll see you in my next one. Bye.